Good morning, everyone. May I ask everyone to please stand for the prayer? In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, once again, good morning, class. So, before you settle down, can you pick up the pieces of paper under your chair? Then, can you please arrange your chair properly? And if you're done, you may now settle down. Okay, how are you today, class? It's good to know that you're doing well. So, is anyone absent for our class today? Okay, no one is absent today. Very good. So, before we tackle to our topic, I will give first the classroom rules. So, first is respect is a must for this class. So, respect for yourself and others. Next is be polite. Manners are must for this class. Do not speak while I am speaking or while other students in the class are participating. Then lastly, raise your hand to be acknowledged. Do not yell out. Okay, did you understand? So for today, before we start, we'll have an activity first. So the name of our activity for today is Pick and Guess. So the instruction is write a list of sentences that hint at different themes from the capture in the right on slips of paper and place them in a box. So nakigiandam dire nga mga sentences na naa-sud sa papel. Dayon, next is student will take turns picking a slip of paper from the box and reading the sentence aloud. So each one of you will pick pieces of paper. Then, dili tanan nga papel is naay sulat na sentences. 3 students will kanang makabunot sa 3 nga sentences. Then, after ninyo og tan-aw, if naay sentences inyong nabunot is, kindly please raise your right hand. Then after reading the sentence, the student will choose the theme that best corresponds to the sentence from the options provided in the PowerPoint. So after ninyo i-read ang sentence, na ako'y i-show diri nga mga possible theme nga possible answer ato nga theme nga ma-correspond sa sentences. Then next is discuss why the chosen theme fits and explore connection to the capture and array. So, do you understand? Okay, let's start. Okay, let's proceed to the questions to ponder. So this is related to our activity. Then, the first question is related siya sa theme nga the power of memory. So the question is, how do memories shape our understanding of ourselves and the world around us? Okay, if you want to answer, can you please raise your right hand? Okay, I'll repeat the question. This is related to the theme, the power of memory. So the question is, how do memories shape our understanding of ourselves and the world around us? Okay, Angeline?
So, memories are fundamental to our self understanding and perception of the world. They shape our beliefs, values, and expectation, influencing decisions and relationships. While positive memories build self esteem, negative ones can distort perceptions.
Okay, thank you, Angeline. The next question is the theme is the importance of connection. So, the question is, why is it so important for people to feel connected to others? Okay, I'll repeat the question. Why is it so important for people to feel connected to others? Okay, Nikki?
So, human connection is vital for our well being. Evolutionarily, it ensured survival. Psychologically, it provides belonging, security, and self worth.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Nikki. The next the theme is the search for meaning. And the question is, how do we find meaning in our lives? Again, how do we find meaning in our lives? Okay, Roger.
So, finding life's meaning is a deeply personal journey. Some find it in faith, others in relationship or passions. For many, it's a combination of factors contributing to society.
Okay, thank you, Roger. Let's proceed to our discussion. So, the title of the story is The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. So, let's tackle first the author's background. So, J.D. Salinger, or Jerome David Salinger, was an American writer born on January 1, 1919, in New York City. So, known for his reclusive personality and aversion to public life, Salinger became a literary icon with the publication of The Catcher in the Rye in 1955. So the novel quickly gained popularity and became a defining work for its portrayal of teenage and alienations. So let's proceed to the characters. So the first is Holden Caulfield. So Holden Caulfield is the cynical, alienated 16 years old protagonist who despises the phoniness of the adult world. He is deeply affected by his younger brother Alice's death and longs to be the catcher in the rye, a protector of innocence. The next one is Phoebe Caulfield, Holden's younger sister, whom he adores for her intelligence and honesty. She represents the innocence of Holden's wishes to preserve. The next one is Ali Caulfield, Holden's deceased younger brother, remembered for his kindness and purity. Alice's death profoundly impacts Holden's, symbolizing his fear of loss and change. The next one is Mr. Spencer. It is Holden's history teacher at Pensy who tries to give him advice, embodying the adult expectations Holden's resents. The next one is Mr. Antolini, Holden's former English teacher who offers life guidance. However, Holden feels betrayed by him, complicating his trust in adults. Next is Sally Hayes, Holden's ex-girlfriend, whom he views as shallow, representing the superficiality he dislikes. The next is Jane Galler, Holden's childhood friend and symbol of his ideals, innocence, and connection. Next is Stradlater, Holden's conceited roommate and Pansy, whose interest in Jane triggers Holden's jealousy and resentment. The next is Ackley, Holden's awkward neighbor, symbolizing isolation, whom Holden tolerates but often criticizes. The next is the summary of the story. The summary in The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger is a coming-of-age novel that captures the angst, loneliness, and complex emotion of adolescents through the perspective of Holden Caulfield, a 16 years old who has been expelled from multiple boarding schools. So the story opens with Holden narrating his experiences. which happened in the recent past from a rest home where he is undergoing therapy. So, his journey is one of self-discovery and confrontation with his inner struggle, especially his cynicism toward the adult world, which he finds insincere and phony. So phony, it means it represents insincerity, superficiality, and a lack of genuine connection. So, after being expelled from his latest school, Pansy prepped for failing most of his classes. Holden decides to leave early rather than face his parents with the news. So, he traveled to New York City, seeking solace and connection, but instead of finding experiences that deepen his isolation, he checks into the dilapidated Egmont Hotel and begins wandering the city alone. Over the course of a few days, he encounters various people, a prostitute named Sunny, three superficial women from Seattle, and a former classmate, Carl Lucet, who suggests he seek psychoanalysis. So, throughout his journey, Holden often reflects on his younger brother Ali, who died of leukemia years earlier. Ali's death was a traumatic event for Holden's, and he still deeply misses him, often recalling Ali's kindness, intelligence, and innocence. Holden idolizes Ali, contrasting him and what he perceives as the corrupt adult world. The pain of Ali's death has left Holden in a state of arrested development, reluctant to grow up and enter a world he despises. One of Holden's primary concern is the loss of innocence. He becomes obsessed with preserving the innocence of children, particularly his 10-year-old sister, Phoebe, whom he loves dearly. He often fantasizes about being the catcher in the rye, a protector who saves children from falling off a cliff, which he imagined as a fall into corrupt adult world. This image of himself as a catcher is Holden's idolized role, a guardian against the inevitable loss of innocence. So, Holden's interactions are often tinged with both longing for connection and mistrust. As he feels betrayed by people's superficiality, when he visits Mr. Antolini, a former teacher who initially seems to understand his troubles. Holden feels a sense of betrayal when he misinterprets Mr. Antolini's late night gesture as inappropriate. His sense of alienation deepens and he becomes more dependent. Finally, Holden decides to say goodbye to Phoebe and plans to leave New York, fantasizing about living a solitary, reclusive life out west. So, when Phoebe insists on coming with him, Holden is touched and begins to reconsider. He takes her to the Central Park Zoo, where he watches her ride the carousel. As he sees her enjoying herself, he realizes that he cannot protect him from growing up. So this moment of clarity brings Holden to tears. And he starts to understand that he must let go of his fantasy of being the catcher. So the novel ends with Holden back in the rest home, recovering and reflecting on his story. While he does not offer a clear solution to his problem, he hints at the possibility of returning to school and moving forward. In his final lines, Holden expresses a cautious openness to reconnecting with people and accepting the complexities of life. So, The Catcher in the Rye captures Holden's struggles with identity, grief, and his quest for authenticity. Through his journey, Salingers portrays the difficult of adolescence, the inevitable of loss of innocence, and the importance of human connection, even in an imperfect world. So let's proceed to the theme. So the main themes in The Catcher in the Rye revolve around Holden Caulfield's struggle with growing up alienation and protecting innocence. So the first is the innocence versus phonies. So Holden disguises the adult's world's phonies and tries to perceive the innocence he associates with childhood. His desire to be the catcher in the rye, he wishes to save children like his sister Phoebe from the corruption he perceives in adulthood. This inner conflict makes him resentful of the adult characters he meets and reveals his fearing of losing innocence himself. And the next is alienation and isolation. So, Holden feels disconnected from society and uses isolation as a defense mechanism to protect himself from rejection. He craves companionship. He opens his relationship, resulting in a lonely and self-destructive journey through New York City as he grapples with his emotion. The next is fear and change. Fear of change and death. So, Holden's fear of change is tied to the trauma of his brother Ali's death. He becomes obsessed with the idea of permanence, wanting things to remain as they are, and struggle to accept the inevitable changes that come with growing up. So let's proceed to the moral lesson. So the moral lesson of The Catcher in the Rye teaches us that being true to yourself, even if it means being different, is important. Holden's journey shows the dangers of judging others and the importance of accepting yourself, flaws and all. So he also learns that change is inevitable and that trying to hold onto the past can prevent growth. Lastly, the novel emphasizes the power of genuine connection and open communication in overcoming loneliness and isolation. Ultimately, the story encourages us to embrace our own journey of self-discovery and accept the complexities of life. So that's all for our discussion for today. So do you have any question? Okay, none so far. So do you understand for our discussion for today? Okay, so if you don't have any questions, I will be the one to give you some questions. The first question is, How does Holden's cynical view of world shape his interaction with others? How does Holden's cynical view of world shape his interaction with others? Okay, question number 2. What are some of the ways in which Holden's quest for authenticity is both a source of strength and a source of conflict for him? Again, what are some of the ways in which Holden's quest for authenticity is both a source of strength and a source of conflict for him? Question number 3. How does novel's narrative style, with its first-person narration and Holden's unique voice, contribute to our understanding of his character and his experiences? Again, how does novel's narrative style, with its first-person narration and Holden's unique voice, contribute to our understanding of his character and his experiences? And question number 4. What are some of the ways in which the Catcher in the Rye reflects the anxieties and challenges faced by adolescents today? Again, what are some of the ways in which the Catcher in the Rye reflects the anxieties and challenges faced by adolescents today? Let's proceed to the application. So, this is a by group, and the name of our activity is Fact or Lie Showdown. So, the instruction divided the class into 2 groups. So, I will divide you into 2 groups. This is group 1 and this is group 2. The next is give each group an illustration board, chalk, and eraser to use during the activity. So I'll give the illustration and the chalk. So each group should answer as quickly as possible because the group that erases their board first will earn points. Next is each group will be given statement and they must decide if the state is a fact or lie. And the group with the highest points will win. So, are you ready, class? Okay, let's start. So let's proceed to the assessment. So the instruction is fill in the blanks using the correct term or phrase from the choices provided in the box. So this is an individual. Then you can write in a 1/2 sheet of paper. Question number 1. The protagonist of the story is blank. Again, the protagonist of the story is blank. It is Holden Caulfield, or Phoebe Caulfield, or D.B. Caulfield. Question number 2. Holden's younger sister Blanc represents innocence and genuine love. Again, Holden's younger sister Blanc represents innocence and genuine love. The choices is Jane Galler, Phoebe Caulfield, or Sally Hayes. Question number 3. Holden's older brother Blanc is a successful screenwriter who Holden's feel has betrayed his artistic values. Again, Holden's older brother Blanc is a successful screenwriter who Holden's feel has betrayed his artistic values. The choices is D.B. Caulfield or Mr. Antolini, or Stradlater? Stradlater. Question number 4. A former teacher of Holden's blank offers him advice and guidance. Again, a former teacher of Holden's blank offers him advice and guidance. The choices is Mr. Antolini, or Mr. Spencer, or Ackley. Question number 5. The theme of blank is central to the novel as Holden grapples his sense of isolation and detachment from the world around him. The choices is alienation, or loss of innocence, or search for authenticity. Number 6. Holden's journey reflects the complexities of blank as he tries to define himself and find his place in the world. The choices are identity formation, adolescent angst, or the power of memory. Question number 7. One of the moral lessons in the story is the importance of love, which is essential for overcoming feelings of loneliness and isolation. The choices are connection, or authenticity, or memory. Number 8. Holden's cynical view of the world is often fueled by his experiences with people he perceives as blank. The choices are phonies, or adults, or teachers. Number 9. The novel highlights the impact of blank on Holden's perspective and his search for meaning. The choices are memory, or loss of innocence, or identity formation. And the last number is the ending of the story suggests that Holden's may be on the path to blank and finding his place in the world. The choices are healing, or redemption, or acceptance. Okay, are you done, class? So, let's check. Can you exchange your paper clockwise? Okay, let's proceed to the assignment. The instruction is, in a long bond paper, research and choose your favorite novel. Then answer the guide questions below. So the first question is, what is the novel's central theme or message? Question number 2, who is your favorite character and why? Question number 3, what is the most memorable scene or moment in the novel? Question number 4, how does the author use writing style and language to create a specific mood or atmosphere? And last, what impact did the novel have on you? So, did you understand, class? So, you can submit that in our next meeting. So, do you have any clarification? Okay, none so far. So, that's all for today, class. Goodbye and thank you.